Good afternoon, students. All of you is on this platform. It's an honor for me again to present to you. So I'm Professor Michael van Wyk. I'm from the University of South Africa, the College of Education. Today I will present to you for grade 10 economics, but in particular from the CAPS curriculum, business cycles. I think this is a very interesting topic, and I believe that you will enjoy really this topic. So I will give you opportunity on this platform to ask questions. When you have a question, you can jot down your questions, and I will see to the best of my knowledge how we can give you appropriate answers for that. So thank you again. So let's move on. So you can relate in my other lesson. I was focused on particular concepts. I was presenting to you in that lesson. I want to link it to this lesson. It's very important that in that lesson we was looking at the cycle, the circular flow. Now, in the circular flow, we have your business, you have your consumers, you have your government, you have your financial institutions, as well as you have your foreign markets. And they all are involved within the South African economy. And they're also involved in business cycles. So that is important, that we need to make that integration and that synergy. Now, what is a cycle? A cycle is, I'll make an example here. So I was an athlete. I was running the 3,000 meters when I was still at high school. And so I'm giving you an example of a 400-meter athlete. In this case, I will refer to Wade van Niekerk. He was the world champ running the 400 meters on the track. So he started off at the starting point where he will end, at the end point, at the finish line. So he starts there and he's running a full 400 meters. So he first ran the first 100 meter, then he end up to the 300 meter, then he ran around the bend, then he end up to the 200, and from the 200 he end up coming down the bend and into the straight and finish it. So that is a circle, and that circle have particular indicators. So you will maybe have a 400 meter indicator on the track, right, mark on the track. And then the 300, then the 200, and then the 100, and then the finish line. So when Wade van Niekerk is now running, he needs to predict how fast he will run that race. What is the pace he will set in that race? So as a metaphor and as an example, a circular have particular indicators. A circular have particular sequence or time frames or laps where the government must look at that, business must look at that, consumers, financial institutions, and foreign markets must have that in mind when they think about the cycle. And in this case, it can be the business cycle. And for this particular lesson, I'm focused on business cycles. And for you to understand in grade 10 as a learner, you need to understand the South African economy and how the government, business, all participants that you have learned already in the circular flow, what decisions they must take. That is important. So for this particular lesson, I want to produce to you now the outcomes you need to achieve as a learner for business cycles. You must first understand what is this business cycle is. You can give a definition. I would always like my students to think about how they will paraphrase themselves and make business cycles understand. So it's a business operate particular cycles. Let's give you that. A business can operate in 4 cycles or 4 terms or quadrants. From January to March, the end of March, that will be the first cycle in the business. the business can measure what the business produce, what goods and services, what information information of the customers or the government or financial institutions he was operating in, and what happens in that cycle. Then they can make predictions in the next cycle or the second term. And because you are in grade 10, you also must use this cycle for your own study. You need also to work in cycles. And that will help you to understand. So as a business cycle operates in a sequence. When I finish with this lesson, you must also identify the phases, and that phases need to be described. By the way, your teacher will ask that in the June exam, in the mid-year exam, or in your class test. And you need to know what are these phases in the business cycle, and you need to describe them. And you need to give a reason for that particular phase. It's coming up. Then thirdly, you need to understand the reasons behind business cycles. That's very crucial. Even the government must know it, even big companies. Then I will show you through a diagram the phases of these business cycles. Then I will then also indicate to you these business cycles influence economically vulnerable people, like your poorest of the poor, the unemployed, disgruntled workers, the graduates who can't get work. So they are falling in that category, which we call it economically vulnerable groups, and they are affected by the cycle. And lastly, you will receive a project that you need to apply your knowledge, skills, and values, which I will now empower you with a particular rubric, because assessment must be transparent and it must be clear to you, and that will be given at the end of this particular lesson. Now, for my introduction, I like always to ask this question to my learners. And I said, my question is in the following, and I phrase it like that. Have you ever heard someone or people or a businessman say the economy is doing well or badly? Sometimes they said the economy is not doing well, and you know it. Last quarter, the Reserve Bank have issued the Reserve Bank quarterly reports, and you as economic learner must go on that website. And by the way, later when I continue with my lessons, I will make some of those quarterly reports of the South African Reserve Bank available for you. And also the stats of the business cycles, the gross domestic product, you will see about that. And what do we think that means? Briefly, then, what is then a business cycle? A cycle is a natural rise or fall of the economic growth over a particular time. So there will be a time where the South African economy will be expanding. There will be times when the economy will be in a peak. There will be times when the economy will be in contraction, and the economy will be in a phase, we call it in the trough. And so on each one of those four types of cycles, you will see there's certain things happening there. Now, as I said, the business cycle is also known as the economic cycle or a trade cycle, which refers to the natural expansion. And why do you think that the business cycle or economic cycle will expand? There is reasons. You will see now the reason that how government can help to expand the economy or expand the business cycle. Or there will be times that you will also now see, I will give you an examples, how the economy is in contraction. And when the economy is in contraction, you will see clearly the elements or the indicators or the dynamics in that economy over time. And then lastly, that the business cycle is characterized by periods of growth. Yes, every economy goes through that, and I will give you an examples now. You will also see that some of the economies globally have periods of decline, where there's the clear decline. And if an economy or a business cycle, say for example the economy of South Africa, if it's too long in a period, you can move into a recession. And that is very serious for us. Then it means the value of the money, in this case is South African rand, compared to your foreign currencies like your dollar and so on. But all these things are also influenced by political utterances. Like, for example, if the president makes certain, like, for example, when the president, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, and his team visit the Oval in Washington with Mr. Donald Trump, immediately when Mr. Donald Trump showed that misinformation, the South African rand already contracted and lose against the currency of the dollars, the euro, as well as the pound sterling in the UK. So those influences, so politically, your business cycles can be influenced by that. But there's also other natural causes that shows that business cycles can be contracted or expanded. It all depends what is the different political scenario. We called it geopolitical scenarios. Say, for example, there's a war like the war now with Ukraine and Russia. That have a major influence on oil, and that oil is influenced also because South African economy is driven by oil. We need oil for the cars to run, and if there's no more oil, what is happening now? There's less cars, but people will buy less cars. Businesses, your petrol stations will run out of that. So those are all implications of external factors, but I will come back to that. Now, here are the phases, learners. There's 4 types of phases. The first phase is your expansion phase. Now, what can we pick up in the expansion phase? It's critical things, and those concepts are very important for you to understand, and you need to study those concepts. The first concept is when an economic cycle is in expansion, it means there's a steady flow of growth. There's a steady flow of people getting jobs. There's a steady flow of income to consumers. Consumers are spending, government getting taxes. There's a rise in the national goods and services. We call them the GDP. There's low levels of unemployment. So you can see that phase. And you can ask yourself now, Prof. Mbeki is asking now these questions. Are South Africa currently in an expanding phase? That let you think, right? I like what you are saying, Vuyo, but we will come to that one. I know you're running now in front of us about your answer and even your comment. Thank you very much for that. Now let's look at the peak. When the economy is in a peak, what is happening in the peak? In a peak economy, it says it's heating up, it's hot. There's the highest point of economy before the decline. Now, can you imagine what is in a peak? In a peak is massive economic growth. It means that the economy grows more than 10%. There was a time where the American economy was heated up to 15 to 20% of the world economy. And then suddenly there was this 9/11. 9/11, the economy of America was 9/11. You know what is 9/11 is? The 9th of September 2011. I was sitting in front of my TV screen and I saw this planes flying into the World Trade Center. So at that time, the American economy was at its peak. You can go and watch this. I will make that available as part of the notes that I will leave here. So, and then after the peak, there's also a decline, because what is happening of the government cannot overheat the economy. Then you will get deflation. People will make goods, they cannot sell the goods anymore. People have money. There's this problem of deflation. I will not talk about deflation. By the way, in grade 12, you will there's a section on deflation that you will study. And then the third phase is the contraction. Remember, from peak now to decline. Now, in the contraction phase of the economy is moving spiral downwards. There's other factors. That's factors number one. Why is there economic decline? It's maybe influence of global wars, like as I said, the war between Russia and Ukraine. Then there's the war in the Middle East between Israel and Palestine. Then you have other wars, but then you also have a natural disaster. Can you still remember? I think it was in 2020, and some of you was not even at high school. You was still in the primary school, right? So during that time, the economy was influenced by a particular natural disaster. We call it COVID-19. So 2019, COVID, the pandemic had influenced the economy, and that has also influenced the business cycles globally. And for some of the economies could not make it up again. Even businesses collapsed at that time because of this business cycles. And then when the economy contracted or going into recession, now the danger emerged now that how to get out of that recession, the government need to intervene in the economy, not to prescribe to the business, but intervene through policies, through law and regulations. And that is what we call the fourth phase in your business cycle. It's called the trough. Now, that is the lowest point of production of goods and services. Some of the business unemployment rates is extremely high. Government need to bring interventions. They cannot raise a tax that is too high for the consumer or for business. Otherwise, they must now tax the rich and all the stuff. And you see these things in Parliament. And I hope you as a learner follow these arguments. And by the way, I will also make available the financial magazines and financial newspapers, which I will download for you on business cycles as part of these presentations that we will put in folders for you, and it will link to you. And it's good that you learn about these things. Okay, now let's go now coming closer to this type of business cycles, right? So these are the four. So why I put expansion in green? In green, everything is favorable. There is economic growth. There's rising in the gross domestic product. Now, what is the gross domestic product? You have learned a little bit about last year when you was in grade 9. It means that the economy is growing above a certain rate, which the government have stated there through the Minister of Finance, and the government have a national strategic plan that they work. So businesses are producing more goods and services. People are spending. Those people, remember in the previous lesson where we was talking about your circular flow, we was talking about the consumer. So the consumers are spending more. Why? They got better salaries, wages. They have enough. They can spend now on the needs and wants of goods and services, right? There's also indicators. Now, these indicators are very important for you to understand. So when I will release as part of this session or this lesson, resources for you, please see how South African economy was rising, and you can see whether we are in expansion or where are we with the economy. There's a rise in the number of goods and services. There's low levels of unemployment, and there's increase in consumer confidence. So people will spend more people will go more on holidays because they have enough money. People will save up more money, and this is the best time when the economy is now in expansion, and the government is helping with that expansion. And so the government balance sheet, we call that the national budget, is not going into a deficit, but is going more into a surplus, because the government have more money. So the government can now make all these rules. Then what is in the peak? It means the economy is at its strongest The economy grows around 15 to 20%. There's enough work, crime rates going down, unemployment rate, you can't even say there's unemployment. Maybe we could, maybe zero unemployment or unemployment. And so those help with the peak. So let's go to the graph now. If you look at the graph, between, this is now time, the horizontal is from 0 to 2, 2 to 4. So that is a timeline, and that timeline is we call it in years. Now from year 1 to year 2, you will see there's a gradual increase in the GDP. Now where is the GDP on my graph? Is on the vertical axis, not on the horizontal axis, on the vertical axis. Now you will see that there is, when it's an expansion stage on this graph, it means more goods and services are produced, better salaries, people have more time for leisure, they can go, there's low levels of unemployment. I'm not saying there will there's no crime. Yes, there will be crime. There will blue collar and white collar crimes will always be there in your economy. You will get those people there, but you will see the economy grow now from 0.0 to 1 to 1.0. So the gross national product is increasing, but then it reaches a particular aspect where you will also get the peak. Now, after your expansion, the economy slows a little bit down, but it still have in an upward curve. And then the economy cooling down, we can get now the recession, and from the recession it moves up again. So these are like your heartbeat. When you lie in the hospital, you will see the light beat. So you will see up and down curve. That is the same with business cycles. That's the same with the country's economy. Now, the problem we have with construction and drought, it means the poorest of the poor, the unemployment, those people that can get work, that you see on the street there, they are in that phase. And you can tell me in what phase of the economy and what cycle South Africa is currently. And the truth, what that means, the economy have bottomed out. This is the worst phase before a recovery. That is very important. So after your trough, there will always be expansion. And you can tell me now, and there will be a project for you as well as an assignment, whether you need to decide. There's an individual assignment at the end of my lesson. So that is important that you need to understand when we deal with all these information. So that is very important. Let's look at when there is a contraction, what it means. Economic activities is declining. Some of the people are selling their businesses because of certain laws. Maybe there's not enough. Maybe there's maybe a war. The people are extremely worried. They said there's possibly a war. Maybe will be the increase in the global markets, the oil price. So people get also nervous, and some of these businesses close down. Because jobs are lost and spending decreases because there's no more money. You will understand that. It's easy to understand. If you don't have a work and you're not well qualified, you will be out of a job and you will be part of the statistics for unemployment. So that is very important. And especially today, you will agree with me. Our unemployment rate is extremely high, but it's not running out of proportion, but I think government can still control and still do this thing. So now you know that there's 4 phases in the business cycle. So it is now for you, and yes, we are in this class discussion now, and I give also to you the diagram, right? So when you look at the diagram, it's very important to understand what we know. So I want to. You need to get a partner, and you and the partner will discuss these 4 questions that I have put on the screen for you now here in this presentation. So this strategy, we call it think, pair, and share. So each one of you must think. So I mean that is, for me, individual accountability, right? You need to think. You need to read the graph, then you need to think about the graph. You need then to pair with a fellow classmate, and then the two of you will share your ideas, what you see on the screen. So my first question to you today is identify where the South African economy might be in the cycle today. If you the Minister of Finance, or you the Minister of Economic Development in South Africa, and the President asks you, where is our economy? Then you must stand up as an economist to say to the President, President, our economy is in the business cycle. This is the business cycle. Can you think about that? I will come back to you. I will give you 2 minutes for that. Né? Then the President will also ask you, can you give me reasons why you say that this economy is in that state? Is it in the expansion state? Is it in a peak state? Is it in contraction state or in a drought stage? You must tell the President, because you're the Minister of Finance or you're the Minister of Economic Development. Because the President must tell now the world and the voters and the citizen that our economy is in this state. Or he can ask you as a Minister of Finance. That is the role you will play. Because the two of you can sit together, think, pair, and share. You can have a role play when you sit there. Né? So if I and David is now in our group, so we are the think, pair, and share group. So I will then be the Minister of Finance and David will be the President. So I must now advise the President before I go to the cameras and tell the world and even the citizens of the country, because he's the first citizen of the country. So when he speaks, he said, our South African economy is in this state. And this is the reason why the economy is in that state, because he is now influenced. So that is important. Then you must also know what is the reasons, and you must think how these phases are affecting families. And by the way, the President also has families. Me and David also have families, right? The same with you, View and Lebo, the two of you also have families. And even the community. Imagine the community. And how these the cycle that you will, or the stage of the economy that you will now identify in this diagram, right? In the cycle diagram, diagram. So that will then explain your thinking about that. You need to share it. And lastly, now, if you're the Minister of Finance or the Minister of Economic Development in South Africa, then you and the President will put your hands together, because it's think, pair, and share strategy. Then the two of you will have an agreement. This is where we are in the economy. Let's have a discussion. So David, do you think that in which part of the cycle are the South African economy, and why did you say so? In 2025, I think. Can you take a guess?
I would think, Prof, we are probably in a low peak.
You think we are in a peak?
No, the low side of the peak, the trough.
Oh, you say we are in the trough. Okay,
yes.
Why did you say we in the trough? Because I'm the Minister of Finance. I need to give you, as the President of the country, David, I must give you the correct answer. David, I think when we're looking at our stats currently, unemployment is still very high, né? But the government is now having now infrastructure projects that they are now building and stuff. So I think, David, we're going now slowly out of the contraction phase. The contraction phase, you must remember, is the recession of the country. We are going outside, but we are still, I think we're moving now the slope to the trough. And then we are now we are now on our way out of the contraction. We're going now to the trough, and from there we will go to in expansion. I think a year from now, say within 18 months, we will be in the expanding phase until the government keeps spending under control. Are you agreeing with me?
Yes, Prof, it does make sense.
Okay, so I'm still enjoying this. I'm so happy that you also enjoying. So here's the African economy on the early March 2025. I have downloaded the stats. So here's the South African economy, David, is in a downward phase of the business cycle, characterized by weak growth. Remember, our growth was supposed to be 2%, but we are below 2%. I think we are between 1.5 and 1.6. You can see it on the screen, right? So our economic growth is still not zero, but we growth. Our economy is in modest mode, but we have positive improvements of the previous years. But our debt is still increasing. We spend too much. Our cabinet is still too big. There's too much ministers, deputy ministers, provincial departments. You have your MECs, your premiers, you have your local government and stuff. So until the president is now cutting down the expenditure side and even cut on unnecessary, and even some of when I see at the Auditor General's reports about the spending patterns and unauthorized expenditure. So that is also very dangerous that the economy is not growing. This suggests that the economy is emerging from slowdown or recession into expanding phase, David. So that is what we are currently in at this moment. That is what we are currently. And I think when the government started doing this budget cut and all these things and spending the money now with the government and national unity, we will go into expanding phase, and we can only grow better. The inflation, yes, the inflation has been decreased from 5 to 3% in the last 18 months. Why inflation decreased? Number one, the National Reserve Bank have cut interest rate for the last four times. You still remember, David? And VU and Lebo? Yes, you remember it. Thank you for that answer. You agree with me? Even a month ago, the interest rate was cut. So we pay lesser for our borrowed money, and we have now more money that we can spend. So we're heating up the economy. We are going out of the recession now, or the drop phase. We're going into expansion phase. We all agree. So low inflation is currently, and interest rates support the recovery of boosting the consumer confidence and business spending. That's very important. Number three, household spending and investment. There's a slow increase, and because of the lower level of inflation. If inflation is high, then your money value is decreasing. But when and then what the government did, the government introduced the two-pot retirement system of your pension, right? So when you build up your pension, if you're a worker, if you're you can ask your parents. And me and David will tell you more people are taking some of the money, but that money, if you take from the two-pot system, you can only take a certain amount, right? And that amount that you take now and use in spending for your needs and wants are now taxed. And so you actually decrease your pool of your pension fund at the end of the day. So that can be also a danger. And then because of that money spending now in the economy, that's why we're going to an expansion phase now. Yes, David, it's nice to hear that. That political and structural reforms, the government have bring down more stability, and there's now much more better economic reform. Remember, Parliament was yesterday discussing the amendment to the financial framework, policy frameworks, and how the money must be spent. And so there will be much stricter control because of the report of the Auditor General, where certain municipalities, certain state departments, your parastatal departments are not spending money that is spending, and there's not clean audits and stuff. And lastly, my conclusion is South Africa is in an early expanding phase and recovery phase. Thank you very much. That is very important, that we know that the economy is currently in that phase. And so, David, this is now your first project that you must do individually. Please don't ask ChatGPT, don't ask Copilot. For this project, I don't want any AI tools involved in. You must go and read the notes. You must go now and ask. You must download and even use the material to do this project. Right? So I have a detector tool placed in my assignment, and I will write clearly to you, no AI tools used in this. By the way, you will be empowered with AI tools, but some of you are using AI tools and I don't want any AI tools with this activity, because this is an individual activity. I want to see whether you understand business cycles, the type of business cycles. So what you must do now, you are required to complete this particular project. It's an individual project. It's about the business cycles, and you need to apply it to the South African economy. I will provide for you the resources. You can do extra. So your project requirements is you must have a nice title, a cover page with a nice title. You must write a nice introduction, define what is this business cycles. You need to explain the phases for me. By the way, you can draw even a nice graph for me, and I would like to see how you draw your graph. But it must be on the South African economy, no other economy, right? And then you can tell me and write down. Number 3, there must be the 4 phases. You need to describe the phases, and you must give me clarity on that. Fourthly, you must look at the South African current economic phase. There's a lot of links and documents that will be available that you can use. And then you must tell me about what is the GDP growth, what is the inflation rate, what are the interest rate, and what is the unemployment rate. The unemployment rate, you must only do that for me from the ages 18 to 35. And then also the others. Then factors that influence the business cycle, you need to explain that to me. Please, hurting the economy or helping the economy. Remember, South African economy is in a expanding phase there in the early stages. And lastly, you need to write for me a nice conclusion of the findings. And by the way, you will have an opportunity after I will then assess your project, your individual. You will come, and then I will ask some of you to come and present on this platform in future. I also want to see a reference listener, and please, I will also leave a note there how to reference properly. And here is the rubric for you. You can see the rubric is clear. What the rubric requires from you, there's nice criteria. I gave you 5 criteria. And I will then mark your project individual, and this project is about 50 marks. All the best with your assignment. And if you have any other questions, thank you for listening to my voice. Thank you that you listen, that you know that what is a business cycle today, why is business cycles important. Then you must also know the type of business cycles. Then you must also understand in your own country where the South African economy is about the business cycles. And then just enjoy your project, your individual project. I will mark it. If you produce, you will get your results. And thank you very much. And may you enjoy economics. Thank you.